Good morning. Welcome to our fourth quarter PHMC Contract Entity Provider meeting. Just a few housekeeping details. As we go through the presentation, please remember to mute your computers and phones. Please enter all your questions or comments in the chat, and we will respond to them after each section. Also, as I just stated, there will be time allocated during the presentation to respond to all of your questions. So just a reminder of the purpose of our contract entity meetings. We convene these meetings assigned for providers in the PHMC contract entity. Some of the things that we generally cover in these meetings include provider contract information, monitoring contract compliance for PHL pre-K programs, reviewing upcoming compliance monitoring expectations, providing support to ensure that providers are meeting contract deliverables, reviewing fiscal expectations, and discussing program startup or closeout. The agenda for today includes information and accountability updates, contract deliverable updates, early childhood mental health and family navigation services information, PHL pre-K provider expectations, and next steps. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to Jennifer Harris, who will discuss information and accountability updates.
Awesome. Good morning. Jennifer Harris, Enrollment and Referral Coordinator here with PHL Pre-K. So I'll be sharing PHL Pre-K system-wide enrollment. Currently, as of April 17th, we are at 93% enrolled. We encourage providers to continue to work towards 100% enrollment. Once a provider reaches 100%, you should continue to build your waitlist in childcare. If you need any support with recruitment, you can reach out to Spark by emailing them at sparkphlprek@shineearly.com. PHL Pre-K end of the year activities. All providers must discharge all currently enrolled children for FY23 by May 31st with a future discharge date. Providers must also withdraw all FY23 applicants listed under your site by May 31st, 2023. We have listed some resources for you. The enrollment guide, which was also shared in a newsletter that was recently sent out, helps you with all the steps you need in preparation for the new school year, as well as a sample interest form for you to start building your wait list for the upcoming school year, getting some information and data from the families so that once open enrollment begins, you have everything you need to continue that process. Enrollment targets. All children, again, must have a discharge date in the system by May 31st. That helps you to be ready for enrollment on June 1st. That's right. Open enrollment is slated for June 1st. We ask that you first apply returning children, then children aging into PHL Pre-K, then new children to your facility. On August 31st, the program must set a target to demonstrate 50% enrollment in childcare. By September 29th, the hope is that you are at 100% enrollment. And by October 31st, all providers must set a target to have a growing waitlist entered in childcare. Programs are responsible for enrolling children in accordance with the FY24 enrollment and waitlist policy. Programs can enroll children for the FY24 in childcare with a start date on or after September 1st. Please note these targets are tentative and subject to change, but the goal is that open enrollment will begin on June 1st. Enrollment process and policy trainings. These trainings are required for all providers. The dates are listed and the links are provided in the PHL newsletter that was sent on April 17th. Again, all providers must attend the enrollment process and policy trainings. Once you have attended this training and attended the refresher training that Childware will offer, and the new sites will also, return to sites. If you have a new location, there's another training for you to attend. But again, these are the required trainings that you must attend in preparation for the new school year. These are the child work trainings I was speaking of. So the child work trainings that we have this year for you, first one is the bulk discharge and application withdrawal. This is a new feature, and you can learn about the new module, the bulk service update. This feature allows users to either bulk discharge or withdraw multiple students at the same time. So be sure to register for that training, as it helps you to do it all at one time instead of one by one. The next training is the enrollment refresher for returning providers. All returning providers are encouraged to attend this training. Actually, it's mandatory so that you can learn the new features that are in childware. Last but not least is the introduction to childware and setup for new provider locations. To all of our returning sites, if you have a new location for this upcoming school year, you must attend this training to be able to enroll for the new school year for that new location. All links are in the newsletter that was sent on April 17th. Childware resources and supports. The Childware team continues to provide users with troubleshooting and technical assistance via telephone, email, and virtually during general business hours. This first link will share all tip sheets and videos to help you, support you through withdrawing, through discharging, enrolling, and such. You can also schedule a one-on-one meeting with Childware for new Childware users or any Childware user at your site who needs a refresher and support. Lastly, you'll continue to receive the PHMC weekly provider update, where you can find contract deliverable due dates, upcoming Spark and Childware trainings, the PHL Pre-K contact info form, the PHL Pre-K YouTube channel link, which houses previous trainings and sessions, and OCF announcements, and many more resources and updates. This weekly update is sent every Friday. We'll pause for any questions.
Cassandra, do you see any questions?
Yeah, there's one. The prior date for training started with May 4th, but on the next slide, it states May 3rd, which is true.
Correct. The first date is on May 4th. And again, that was, no, for the discharge, right? Discharge. I'll follow up on the discharge for the Childware meeting. However, again, the links are in the newsletter. And again, you want to make sure that you register if you are interested in attending. But I believe that is the date for the Childware. And then another question said, when will the new applications be publicized? Again, once you attend the enrollment training, you attend the enrollment refresher, and if you are a returning site and have a new center, you attend the introduction to Childware and setup for new provider locations, as well as receive your notice of award, sign it, and return it. As always, you'll be able to get the enrollment documents to enroll children. In the meantime, as shared, we have the sample interest form that you can fill out with the family to let them know the documents that they need, so that once you are ready to enroll, you have all of your documents to verify eligibility and they can enroll in your location.
And we just have one more question, which is, can we start discharging children now?
Yes, you want to start discharging students now so that, again, you'll be ready for the upcoming school year. Again, be sure to attend that bulk discharge training so that you can see how to discharge all the children at one time.
Sorry, and we're getting some more questions in asking when will providers get the application for next year?
And again, you must attend the enrollment training. You must attend the refresher for Childware. If you have a new location, you must attend that new agency setup so that your staff know what to do at that location, and receive your notice of award, sign it, and return it, and then you'll be able to get the enrollment documents. You must complete those 3 to 4 steps, and then you'll be able to get the documents to enroll.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassandra. Thanks, Jennifer. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to Carrie Lee, who will present the contract deliverable updates.
Thanks, Joy. Hi, all. Good morning. Let's talk through some contract deliverables. First, all providers received a communications around completion of the TSG Spring Assessment with any relevant next steps. A reminder that the due date is May 16th for this. And also reminders that each child should have at minimum 1 documented child observation in every dimension objective per checkpoint timeframe. And child progress should be recorded twice per year. This is the second checkpoint, the spring checkpoint. We do have some resources available in preparation for the checkpoint. There are links here to a guide on assessment and documentation, as well as best practices in selecting and finalizing checkpoints. You can also check out the Spark Knowledge Center. They have trainings coming up in early May. So you can check out their Knowledge Center to register for those trainings. Next is kindergarten transition. So for all children turning 5 that meet age requirements of the School District of Philadelphia for the next school year, providers should be gathering information from families on where those children are registered for kindergarten and entering a note in childware by May 31st. That note should include the date of registration and primarily the school that the child is going to. Our provider services team is currently monitoring transition plans and meetings with families, which should be uploaded in childware. We have some great resources available that have been running in the provider weekly update. They're also linked here that we'll share out to everyone at the end, or at the weekly update as well. On attendance, just a reminder that providers should be monitoring chronic absences and saving documentation of communication with families. If children are significantly below 85% attendance, providers should be supporting families in more regular attendance and assisting around hardships. Family partnerships are also a critical element that contribute to the success of your program and the children served. Our specialists are starting to monitor soon around this. Providers would need 2 sources of evidence, which includes individual meetings, group meetings, and parent meetings. Some fiscal updates. Around supplemental funding, just a reminder that the timeline for spending is July 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. Many of you have submitted your spending plans already, which is great. We plan to get out amendments by hopefully next week and payments shortly after. Following that, you'll need to submit an expense report outlining how funds were spent with your May invoice. That's going to be due June 1st to the 10th. We will be providing a submission link. We'll send that out to you. Other fiscal updates, just a reminder about end of the year fiscal reporting. So for desk reviews, we do select a 10% sample of our providers that will, with less than $300,000 in PHL pre-K funds and providers with fiscal concerns. Those providers will be asked for general ledgers and supporting fiscal documentation to support their transactions and business practices. We also have providers that will be submitting year-end reports. Those are the providers with less than $300,000 in PHL pre-K funds who were not selected for desk reviews. They'll need to complete that year-end expense report. If you'd like to prepare ahead of time, you can start adding on to the expense report you completed at the mid-year timeframe. We will be communicating more about both of these toward the end of the program year, so just please look out for those communications. And then finally, in preparation for the next school year, here's a quick overview about what's coming next. Communication was sent earlier this week with that year-end checklist and about upcoming trainings to register for, which Jennifer just talked about. Those enrollment trainings and childcare trainings will begin in May. We hope to be send out final notice of awards at the end of May as well. Open enrollment, Jennifer mentioned, begins June 1st. And then also starting in June, we hope to have exhibits trainings. It's a little different than last year. We are separating out exhibits training and contracts training. So the exhibits training will be in June. Exhibits will be due at the end of that month. And then in July, we'll have contracts training and hopefully be starting to prepare for sending out contracts at the end of end of July into August. I think that's about it. If there are any questions on anything I spoke about.
We had a few questions, I think, more left over from the last part of the presentation. So
Okay.
when will the notice of award be issued? You did address that, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, we are hoping, again, we're hoping to send that out towards the end of May.
And then where is the link for the May 3rd training? It's not in the email from the other day. I can actually answer that and say that all of the links for those trainings will be in the email that goes out on Friday, in the newsletter on Friday. And then we have, will this meeting be recorded and will it be in the PHL Pre-K newsletter?
Yes, yes to both. It is being recorded, and we will send out information in the provider update at the end of the week.
Okay. And then I think we probably addressed this offline. Someone was asking about entering their expenses into the FY23 report, but their link was locked or protected. So I think we can take that conversation offline.
Yeah, if we could just gather that information, then I can follow up with that provider.
Great, thanks, Carrie.
Sure.
Okay, Cassandra, is that the end of questions at this point?
Yep, that's all we have.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Carrie. At this time, I will turn the presentation over to Zaida Velez, who will discuss early child mental health and family navigation information.
Thank you, Joy. We are pleased to introduce our new ECMH consultant. Her name is Adora Davis. She will be providing consultation for referred children in PHL Pre-K, social and emotional teaching strategies, support with PHL Pre-K programs and parents in accessing more intensive services, and as you know, home visits. To request her services, you need to complete the ECMH consultation application and send it to the PAK. Once they identify the child as PHL Pre-K child, they will forward the application to us. Also, we want to introduce a new family navigator. Her name is Lauren Wigan, and she, as always, will be supporting families of children referred to Elwin or in the pipeline of being referred, support families with accessing appropriate funding for behavioral health services, and support families in crisis and connect with community resources. As you all know, to request her services, you need to complete the Family Navigator request form and consent form and submit it to me at civildesk@phmc.org. And once again, ECMH consultation, you will complete the PAK ECMH request for service form and returning the completed form to either the email address or the fax number on the form. We will strongly suggest to do the email address because the PAK are still like remote, and it's easier if they access the application through the email.
Okay, thanks, Zaida. At this time, I will just review a few PHL Pre-K provider expectations. Many of the upcoming activities have already been mentioned during the previous presentations, but I just want to alert you to the PHL Pre-K end of the year checklist. This checklist was sent to providers on Monday. If you did not receive the email, please let your provider service specialist know. This is just the first page of the end of the year checklist, but there are several activities for you to track to ensure that you're completing before the end of the year. And some of these activities include, of course, childcare activities, kindergarten registration, and preparing for upcoming PDs. Invoicing. Please continue to make sure that invoices are submitted to your provider service specialist by the 10th of the month. Providers with 2 late submissions of invoices will receive a quality improvement plan so that we can identify any barriers that are contributing to providers not being able to submit invoices by the 10th of the month. Submitting an invoice by the 10th of the month ensures timely payments. As always, we want to just highlight making the most of your site visits. Your provider service specialist will be reaching out to you shortly to schedule for quarter site visits. At least one site visit will be in person during this quarter. And as you prepare for these site visits, please ensure that child records are ready to review prior to your visit by uploading sources of evidence in Childware and preparing the physical file for review. We recommend that you conduct a trial run and review child and staff records for deliverable compliance before your site visit so that you are prepared for when your specialist arrives. And third, ensure that Childware data entry requirements are completed. I do also want to mention that during the fourth quarter in-person site visit, we will be requesting a copy of the sign-in sheet for that particular day. And we want to do this because we want to ensure that sign-in sheets are aligning with the attendance data entry in Childware. As you know, attendance is tied to invoicing, so we just want to make sure that everything is aligned. And if for some reason it's not, your provider service specialist will follow up with you so that we can discuss what the barriers are to ensuring that they are aligned so that we can help you be successful. Sorry. And then a few important dates to remember. May 6th is the citywide day of play at Smith Playground. There is more information about this in the Office of Children and Families newsletter that is sent out. On May 16th is the TSG Spring Checkpoint. On May 31st, there are several activities that need to be completed. You should discharge all currently enrolled children for FY23 with a future discharge date. You should withdraw all FY23 applicants listed under your site. And also, please make sure that the kindergarten registration note in Childware lists the school selected and the date of registration. And on June 1st is open enrollment. Are there any questions, Cassandra?
There are not any questions.
All right, great. Well, we want to say thank you for attending our meeting today. We are happy that we were able to keep it brief for you, but also share all of the important information that you need to know as we begin to close out this program year. As always, thank you for your commitment to children and families. Have a wonderful day.